We want to be leading the way, and we've got a target about 2030 to try and see if we can 100% have electric mobility in this city. Electric vehicles are so important to Dundee because of one of the crucial matters is the topography of the city. Unfortunately, due to the fact that what Dundee is actually sited on top of a volcanic seat, and all the fissures, volcanic fissures went down into the sea, and they naturally caused a bowl in the city. So unfortunately, we never ever can have the emissions escape from the actual city, so we have pollution across the whole day. Dundee used to be famous for three J's: jute, jam and journalism. Unfortunately, in the 50s and 60s, we lost a lot of that jute industry, which at one point was 1 in 7 people in Dundee worked there. So the economy really collapsed. So over the last 20-25 years, it's really been a recovery, and the industry had changed dramatically. One of the issues 8 years ago we looked to tackle, one was EV taxis, and the other was that 51% of the population didn't have driveways, so where were they going to charge? So that's where the concept of hubs came into being. So this is the very first one. We intentionally put it here at Lochee because this is one of the poorest areas in Dundee, and we didn't want to look as if we were just building infrastructure for Tesla drivers, for the wealthy, etc. So this another area that we've got here is also close to the taxi rank, which fits in with our EV policy around the taxi industry, which is one of the main polluters in the city. So here, what you've got here is you've got 6 50 kilowatt rapid chargers, you've got 3 22 kilowatt chargers, and this has been up for 1 year, and there's been 30,000 charging sessions here this year. Standing here at our main hub, what you've got is solar canopies on top of them, producing roughly about 39 kilowatts a day, and that feeds a battery storage unit which holds 90 kilowatts. We're now here at Green Market multi-storey car park. This is the first of 3 of our inner city, inner ring car parking facilities. What you're looking at here is again solar battery storage. But differently from the hubs that we've seen, this is slower charging. This is 7 kilowatt chargers, 20 bays. Uniquely here though, what we've got is dynamic charging, which allows if we have 20 vehicles charging here, as opposed to going to the grid for that electricity, the system can then split the load down to about 2-3 kilowatts, again allowing the car still to charge, but also not going anywhere near the grid. We've built these specifically, these car parks, because we want people to drive to work. If they have to come into near the city centre, park their electric vehicles here, then walk into the small area to work, and then come back at night time. And specifically what we're looking at is the residents of the city centre putting their electric vehicles here at night and declutterising the city centre. So it's a bit about shifting the electric vehicles about the city to create the low emission zone. So for us, we understand that Dundee has some kind of unique character and situations for adopting EVs. However, a few lessons that I would say that we can give to other cities is look for what assets that you have. What can you control in your city and you can develop. So it doesn't always have to be the same as other ones. Another key one is to do with communication. We really need to start speaking to everybody, all different partners, to understand this. The hubs that we've just been at, they took 2 years in the planning. They actually only took 13 weeks to build. So it's all about bringing communities, taxi sector, etc. together to create the infrastructure that the city needs. And lastly is policy. I think that there's a potential there that you can look at your policies that you've got in your cities at the moment and try and develop them to encourage EVs. Rather than giving a carrot rather than a stick is probably the best way to go forward.